The Yankees are coming off a pretty good week where they went 4-2 and took 2 series dubs against the Seattle Mariners and Texas Rangers, with both teams looking to compete for a playoff spot and the Yankees helping stay alive in the AL wildcard race even without Aaron Judge. As for their minor league affiliates, it was business as usual, with great performances and some exciting honors and promotions to discuss this week. We continue our search for interesting prospects that can provide value at the major league level for the Yankees at some point or another, and we want to talk about some of the most exciting performances of the week as we get into this week's edition of our Yankees Prospect Report. Let's get into it. The Somerset Patriots are looking to clinch their second straight first half division title, giving them another postseason appearance and a chance to defend their Eastern League Championship crown. Trey Sweeney was a huge part of this, as he had a huge week, clubbing 3 home runs, driving in 6 in the 6-game series against the Fisher Cats. Sweeney's finally found his power stroke in the month of June, slugging .596 while having 7 of his 10 home runs on the season come in that 22-game sample size. The LSU product is finally putting it all together, and if he can continue to find success at AA, he can expedite his development, get himself in AAA, and put himself in a position to compete for a major league spot at some point in 2024. The Yankees could also move him in a trade, but I wonder how willing they'll be able to do that, considering that Volpe isn't a sure thing yet, and they have a lot of question marks at third base, at second base, and potentially at first base, with Anthony Rizzo's contract up in a year and a half. So far in the season, Trey Sweeney has 10 home runs, 34 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, a 14.5% walk rate, a 19.2% strikeout rate, a 120 WRC plus, and a 367 OBP. Could we see Trey Sweeney in AAA at some point over the summer? Absolutely. He'll have to keep up this performance, but I think he's on the right track, and I think the Yankees really like his bat and what he brings to the table. Let's keep it in Somerset as we now turn to their pitching staff, as they still continue to have one of the best pitching staffs in the Eastern League. This is despite the fact that Clayton Beeter was recently promoted to AAA and was also named alongside Spencer Jones as the Yankees representative for the All-Star Futures game, an exciting and well-deserved honor for both guys. Beeter would throw 5 innings of 3-run baseball with 3 walks and 6 strikeouts in his AAA debut in Scranton, and back in Somerset, we saw a couple of really interesting names take the mound in Matt Sawyer and Chase Hampton. Now, Matt Sawyer is someone who's making his AA debut on the season, as injuries delayed his start to the 2023 campaign, and he was able to throw 4 1/3 innings of 1-run baseball, striking out 5 and not walking a single batter. His stuff looked really good, and his fastball looked crisp as well, and while he does struggle with the long ball, his strikeout stuff is undeniably very good. He could be a guy who transitions to the bullpen because of his issues with giving up home runs, but he could also be a guy the Yankees leverage as a trade piece, as his stuff is again very good. It's just a matter of staying healthy and finding consistency in the strike zone. As for Chase Hampton, he is in literally every prospect report. I'm not kidding, he's in every single one. That's how good he's been this year. And this was arguably his worst start, as he went 5 2/3 innings pitched, struck out 5, walked 2 batters, and allowed 1 run, lowering his ERA on the season to 2.61, but he had the worst strikeout percentage of any start in his professional career at 23.8%. However you slice it, this dude is just unhittable, as even when he doesn't have his best stuff, he's still able to turn in a really strong outing. Hampton's gonna force some tough conversations in the organization regarding whether he should be in AA or AAA at the end of the season, especially if he keeps this up, and I personally think he's their best pitching prospect, but that doesn't mean he was their best performer this week. See, he was outdone by his own teammate Richard Fitts, who gave the Patriots 6 innings with no walks, 1 unearned run, 2 hits, and 7 strikeouts, turning in his 6th straight quality start on the season, lowering his ERA to 3.91, and giving him a 27 strikeout percentage to a 5.1% walk rate. Fitts knows how to generate swings and misses, and his strong command and aggressiveness in zone with decreasing home run rates could lead to a promotion to Scranton in the near future. He also does an excellent job pitching deep into games, and I think that'll help him project better as a starter in the future. With that being said though, let's move a level down to Hudson Valley in HighA, as they also won their first half division, meaning that they've clinched a playoff spot. And 2 of the biggest catalysts for that are Juan Carrella and Drew Thorpe, who have given the Hudson Valley Renegades an unbelievable month of June thus far. Starting with Carrella, he has a 2.45 ERA and a 2.48 FIP this month, with a 36.7% strikeout rate and just a 7.1% walk rate. For amazing as he's been, Drew Thorpe has somehow been even better. In a start where Drew Thorpe would watch his June scoreless streak end, he'd still put together a dominant performance, as he went 7 2/3 innings pitched, striking out 7, walking just 2, and allowing just 1 run. In the month of June, Thorpe has been one of the best pitchers in the entire league, posting a 0.31 ERA, a 1.98 FIP, striking out 34% of batters, walking just 6% of batters, and having a 0.63 WHIP. In that aforementioned stretch of dominance, Thorpe is averaging over 7 innings an outing, which makes his run even more impressive because he's pitching deep into games, going through multiple times through the order, and still absolutely dominating, and with a high ground ball rate to boot. This is someone who's absolutely got to be in AA right now. He's dominated Hudson Valley. He doesn't need to see any more high A hitters. It's time for him to get the big test in AA. Overall, both of these guys are super impressive, and I also wanted to highlight Tyrone Euly, who set a career high in innings pitched, striking out 7 across 7 scoreless frames, walking 3 batters, and winning Pitcher of the Week in the South Atlantic League. I wanted to also discuss some overlooked names, including Anthony Hall, who was the Yankees' 4th round pick in the 2022 draft, and he's beginning to find his power stroke in A-ball with the Tampa Tarpons. He has 4 home runs in his last 6 games played, giving him 7 on the season, meaning that over half of his home runs have come in the last week or so. He has a 23.8% chase rate, which is better than league average, a sub 20% strikeout rate, he's walking a lot, and he has a 138 WRC+. He'll finally start to catch the eyes of Yankees scouts if he's able to translate that raw power into game power, and I think he's someone who can rise through the system pretty quickly. Shifting gears to high A, let's talk about right-handed pitcher Brandon Beck, who is the Yankees' 2021 second-round pick, who unfortunately needed Tommy John surgery, which delayed his pro debut to this season. He made a start in the Florida Complex League, and then made his first start in high A ball, tossing 2 scoreless frames, allowing 1 hit, 1 walk, and striking out 3 batters, showing off some of the stuff we saw in college that made him so impressive. The Yankees are going to build him back up slowly, but if he's able to shove, I think the Yankees would be willing to put him in AA this year. But again, that depends on a lot of factors. He's got to stay healthy, he's got to build up that pitch count, and he's got to have success while doing so. And the last 2 guys I wanted to talk about are both relievers with the Hudson Valley Renegades, and that's Bailey Dees and Jack Neely, who have both dominated as 2021 picks, and they're absolute strikeout machines. Dees has a 39.3% strikeout percentage, and Neely has a 32.8% strikeout percentage, with both having ERAs below 2.5 and making excellent cases for a AA promotion. Dees is 24 and Neely is 23, with both showing that they could fly through the system and put themselves in bullpen talks at some point in late 2024 or in 2025. If there's one thing the Yankees do well, it's developing relievers, and I believe these are 2 guys to keep your eyes on, especially considering that the Yankees are going to need some bullpen depth, with a lot of their top guys being free agents over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons. That'll wrap up this prospect report as the first half officially comes to a close, and the Yankees have guaranteed at least 2 playoff teams in high A and AA, but their other affiliates will look to throw their hat in that ring as well. It'll be an interesting second half, as the Yankees are likely to be buyers at the deadline, meaning they'll deal out of that talent pool, and promotions could affect a lot of these teams as well. We'll keep you guys posted on promotions and all that stuff, and we'll have you guys with prospect news, Yankee news, all that stuff, all on Fireside Yankees. Check out our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and of course this YouTube page. The audio version of this podcast will be out on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And of course, you guys can check out Empire Sports Media for all your New York sports content, and the written version of this report will be on Empire Sports Media. So again, check it out. Link will be in the description. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.